Hello, wonderful subscribers. Welcome to another time with Creative Bright Studio. So we're going to design this beautiful flyer here for a pastries company. All right, so it's not difficult. I intentionally did it for you as a beginner. So relax, take your time and go through the lessons and you're able to do it yourself. Have a nice time. Let's get started. So first of all, you open up Photoshop and then you create our file. So I'm going to use the 3000 by 3000 pixels. Okay, so you can change the unit here. I'm using pixels. You maintain this one. There's a 300 resolution, then keep the rest as it is. Okay. All right. So today is going to be a different way of doing things. I want to introduce some things to you as well. So when you come here, I have a file here giving out the details of everything here, so you can follow this one to achieve the goal. All right. So the name of the company, the name of the flyer, and the font size, the motto, and everything, the gradient I'm going to use here, and even the font here. Now when you open the folder for the program for the training, you can see everything here, all the files here to guide you. I have the PSD file, so in case you need some help, you can look at this file to help you as well. All right, so we're going to create this beautiful flyer here. Let's look at the details first before we start. And that's one thing I will encourage as a beginner. You have to analyze the work and see what you need before you start it. So there is a font with a stroke here, and then there's a shadow behind it. There's also a shape which has been tweaked a little bit. All right, and there's a background picture talking about what the pastries. All these images have been carefully selected to match the work that you're doing. All right, so there's this image here, and then there's a shadow behind it, and also these ones have been clipped into it. Okay, so if you don't want to know how to clip images into a shape, you can watch my video on that one. Yes, and also there is a shape here, and especially created what do you call it, a shadow here. Without much ado, let's start work. So we're going to start with this. All right, so one thing I would advise you as a beginner is to bring in all the things you need for your work, and then you take your time to do the formatting and the design as well. All right, so we go for the name, Tasty Pastries 85 points. So I use Ctrl+C to copy from Microsoft Word. Now one thing that I will advise you, sometimes when you get a work, it's good to have it in a Microsoft Word. It can help you to correct the mistakes here so that it's easy to use it. All right, so I want to show you how you can copy text from Microsoft Word and use it directly in your work. All right, so I open Photoshop, then I pick my text tool, can press T on the keyboard to click. All right, and then the font you are using the Pacifico regular. I've attached to it. You want to know how to install this font, you can also watch my video on how to install font in your Photoshop. All right, okay, so before, let's observe something. When you click Ctrl+V, like we have in Microsoft Word, it will paste it. I realize that you don't get exact look as it is. Okay, it pastes it as a picture, doesn't paste it as a text. Okay, so with this one, it is very difficult to work on this one, because when you just copy directly from Microsoft Word and use the Ctrl+V, it pastes it as a picture. That's why I see that's what the layer one. All right, so what is the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to use the text tool, and then use what, Ctrl+V. All right, good. You don't see anything here, but let's look at the layer here. It is written, it is here. Okay, it is because the layer color here is also what is white as the background. So I double click on the thumbnail, and then I choose the color that I want for now. So let me use this color, and then let me type in the font. I have already installed it, so when I type in, it comes here. So that is what I have here. So let me delete this layer. You can simply click and drag to delete it. Okay, so I go in for the motto. You click and drag, copy. The points is what is 22 points. Okay, I said we do the formatting later. So like I said, you just click the text tool and then you paste it so that you can have it done for you. All right, so let me quickly do this. Yeah, so this is 22. This one is 85. All right, so I want to move it to the next line, so just click and then press enter. Now when you click on the character icon here, you come to this side, you can just click and drag gently, okay, so they can space out the characters for you, the line spacing. All right, good. Okay, I find it difficult to control this one because it is below, so let me do it this way. All right, that's nice. And then I have the items here. Control C to copy. Don't forget, when you come to Photoshop, you click on the text tool and then you can now paste. Okay, so I click, go to the next line, go to the next line, click and press. I press on the enter key to move to the next line. Okay, so highlight all, come to this one and then drag it up gently to have equals line spacing. Right, that's nice. All right, so I have this one also here. Then I have my circles as buttons. Okay, so I do a gentle one. Then what I do is that I press the shift, control plus alt and click and drag to draw. Control plus alt, click and drag, control. You click on control plus alt and shift. When I add a shift, it keeps it in line. Okay, so the guy showed me that it is in line. So I have this one nicely drawn for me. Then I come to the contact, I click. Okay, then paste it. Yes, so nicely done. I want to tell you that it took a lot of hours for me to, a lot of time to come up with this work. So as a beginner, if you see the video maybe 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, don't think that you're going to do the same time to achieve these results. You need a lot of patience, and I know you will surely get there. All right, so let's go. So we have this one there, and then we have our cupcake here. All right, so what we do is that we have several options. It depends on the version you're using. You can click, drag it whilst your finger is on the left button, and then you bring it into the work. All right, so that is one of the options. Other option I'll show you later with the other images. Okay, so I press Ctrl T to bring the controls, then drag it nicely here. Okay, then you can see this shape, rectangular shape. So let me click and draw the shape. Good. Let me give it a different color so you appreciate what is happening here. Okay, so it goes down. I click and bring it down. I want to be in the background. Okay, so let's observe something here quickly. You can see that it has some curves. All right, so how did I come up with this curve? So after drawing your shape, you come for your move tool, you press Ctrl plus T to bring you the controls, and then you come to the warp tool. Okay, so when you click on this warp tool, it gives you the nodes or the points where you can adjust. You click on this one and then you carefully move it inside. All right, good. So that is how I got that particular shape. So I go back again for Ctrl plus T. I click and I drag, I stretch it a little bit according to how I want it to look like. Okay, so that is how I got this shape done for me. I like using it a lot, so if you follow me, you can see it a lot in my work. Okay, let me stretch this one a little bit. Good. All right, the next thing I want to do now is to bring in my images. I have 1, 2, 3 images here. Okay, so we have two options. If you have followed the video I showed last time, you can see that you can use a place embedded. You go there and bring in this one place, so it gets into the work directly. Okay, you can also use the file open, and then you click. By this time around, instead of coming in, let me pick, sorry, yes, it comes in its own window. So how do you move it into the work? You click to unlock it, you click, hold and drag it and move it to the window, then you gently drop it inside your work. All right, then let me bring in a last one. You can just come and hold it, click on it, drag it, and then you bring it into the work. Okay, let me resize it. Okay, my finger is on a shift and an alt key while dragging it so that I get equal proportion. Very good. So let's do our clip masking. Now you can see the circles, the shapes, the images have been placed in shapes. That's what we call the clip masking. If you want to know how to do this, just go to my video and then watch it. Okay, so let's first of all do our circles, draw our circles. Okay, so to want a perfect circle, shift alt and then you drag. Nice one. Okay, don't worry about the colors, you're going to work on them very soon. So let me click alt, control and drag, and then control plus T to adjust it a little bit. Okay, and the last one, the same thing, I hold it, adjust it a little bit. All right, so this is what I have. Nice one here. Then let me see, this is the first one and this layer. Okay, so what I'll do is that I have to locate this particular one and then the image. I think there's it here, so you can use the eye to help you to find which particular layer you're working on. Just click and then go. This is the first one. All right, so what you do is that always see this the shape as your container and you are dropping the image on it, so the image must be on top and then the one is going to form inside is what the container is below it. Okay, so you come, you right click and then you click on the create clipping mask. Okay, so this is what it does for you. Sorry, you see it is missing. The reason why it is missing because it is at a different place. So what you can do is that press Ctrl plus T to show you where the image is. You click and drag it inside nicely, hold the controls and then adjust it. Okay, another way you can also do is that just locate this one. Okay, this is it and this one is here. Okay, so what I do is that, like I did earlier on, I make sure it is on top of that particular shape. Let me verify. Okay, this time just bring it to the shape where the circle is. Okay, so that you don't get confused where it is. So another thing is that you can press the alt on the keyboard and then you click and then it forms the mask for you. Okay, so I press Ctrl plus T, I adjust it a little bit, that's fine. Then I go to the other one, the last one, I bring it closer, then look for the circle. Okay, that's it here, so I shift, move it up, that is it. Yeah, let's see. Okay, alt, then click, the mask is created. Let me readjust it so that it fits in perfectly well. All right, that's nice. Okay, so we have this side nicely done. Okay, so let me import this and then also the background image for this one as well. Okay, so I go to my files, can click, drag and then drop it inside nicely. Let's adjust it. Okay, nice one. Yeah, all right, good. Then for this particular one, it has its own background as well, but I want to introduce it. I'll introduce later after I've finished working on this one. All right, so this text here has a stroke and also has a gradient. Okay, has a stroke and also has a gradient. Now let me click on it, and then you click on the text tool. So how do we get a stroke and the gradient? What you do is that you come to the layer styles FX. Make sure the layer is clicked on. You click on the layer style FX, and then you come and click on the gradient overlay. Okay, gradient overlay. Already my gradient has been created, but I want to show you how to create this gradient. So you click on it. Yeah, when you come to the Word file, I have the gradient here. So the lower one is what? 910314. You copy it, Control plus C, copy. Then you come inside here. This is the lower one. So you double click on it and then you paste it. Okay, I have it already there. Then okay, let me show you how I did it. Let's click on a neutral. You click on the default layer, I mean the gradients, the one you think you want. Okay, so I want to change the colors. Just you can double click on it to open, and then you paste the one we just copied. That's the lower one. Then you come again, copy the mid one. Okay, you can leave the hash key, Control plus C, copy. You double click on this one and then you paste it here. Then you come to this one, then you copy the high one, Control C, then you click and you paste there. Very good. So we have created our gradient. If you want to use this gradient, just click on new and it saves it in your gradient editor for you. All right, so this is saved for me. Let me work on the color mode. I think multiply will be best. All right, so then the stroke, double click the layer, then let's pick the stroke. All right, so I have this stroke. Let me increase it a little bit. Okay, that's fine. So that's how I created a stroke. And when you observe, there's some kind of shadow behind it. So to create our shadow, just come, we are still in a layer style. Okay, you click on the shadow, come to the text and click and drag gently. Okay, you can also use this one to adjust how you want your stroke to feel like. All right, good. Now you can see that there are issues with the colors and everything here. I like to, as a beginner, you're asking yourself, what about color theories and all those things? One thing I advise is that try to pick your colors from the image you're using. Okay, all right, so let's work on this one. As when you can see that I maintain the font throughout, so only two fonts, this and that is what I used. All right, so it's very good. So I click on this one. Let me sample a color from here. So the color picker, when I move to the image, you see it changes from being a rounded circle to a color picker. Okay, so let's pick a color from here. I pick a dark color. Good. All right, so I have this color here. You can keep the color. Okay, now let's work on the text. You see this color brown here is crashing with this red text here. All right, that is why this one I put a stroke here so that it stands out. So you can use the stroke as a way of making your text stand out. All right, so let me click, select this one, and then pick color white. All right, so it works for this one. You click and drag, and then you have your color white. Nice. Now we want to work on the circle. So I click on the circle, I click on the properties here. Okay, let's select it from the shape tool. Good. So this circle, I want to use the gradient, and the gradient I saved, I click on it so it applies to it. Okay, so I have it nicely done for me. Then I come to the contact again. This one is the details is 28 points. So let me click and make it what 28 points. As a designer, you should think about the readability of your work.